Hello there, guys. It's getting very cold here in the UK. This is why I'm wearing this. So I feel very cold. Okay. People ask me, Oscar, how is it that you get the best economy in your car? So this is what we're going to be talking about. For me to get the best economy, it starts with the car that I choose. You see, people buy cars for so many different reasons, and cars as well, they're made, looking at different styles driving. Okay, for instance, if you want the best fuel economy, you want to reduce the costs on fuel. You cannot buy a car that is, a V8 petrol. That's not going to work. You cannot buy a sporty car, Subaru, WRX, STI. They're not cars that are designed for fuel economy. You're going to get 15 miles to a gallon on cars like that. You can't buy Honda Civic Type R. It wasn't made in the mind of saving fuel. It wasn't made in the mind of driving very fast. It's a sport car. So it's not going to work. You need cars that are designed for best fuel economy. And to do that, when you go on Auto Traders or on the internet to look for car, you look at the car that is charged very, very less tax. The less tax means that car, the efficiency is very, very high. I know in future things will change and the tax will be same for all cars. But in the meantime, when I'm making this video, cars that produce less than 100 grams of CO2 through the tailpipe, most of them, they are charged zero tax. You don't pay any tax on them because they're considered to be very, very fuel efficient. That's where you start. Now you can have cars that are a little bit over and they will be charged like £20, £30, and then it jumps to like over £100. Starting from £30, that's where I look. Starting from £30 going down to zero. Those are the cars that I'll be looking at, excluding, and I'll be straight away tell you the truth, excluding hybrid cars and electric cars. I'm talking about petrol and diesel. And actually, in my situation, mainly diesel. I will not buy petrol because I don't see it as very fuel efficient. And I won't buy hybrid. I already had a hybrid. Look at my videos. It wasn't doing very well. I even built a battery for this car from Tesla module to try to help it to become fuel efficient. It was a hassle. It cost me a lot of time and money. I lost a lot of money doing all that stuff. Could have been there working with the diesel and getting money in my pocket to rush back home all the time, to charge it. I'll make a video just to explain about this maybe next week, okay? So that's where it starts. It starts with the cars, and the best cars are the ones that produces less CO2, less than 100 grams or a little bit over, or cars that are charged £30 tax to zero, and they are mainly diesel. Okay, I don't hate diesel. I love diesel because of the economy. This is why I always talk positive about diesel. Okay, that's where you start the car. And in my instance, Peugeot, and I'm not advertising these companies, I'm just telling you, in general, the cars that if I have to buy, looking at fuel economy, I will buy Peugeot 1.6 HDI, brilliant. Citroen 1.6 HDI, brilliant. And other engines that are around 1.6 going down, they're not very fast. You cannot drive fast in the UK anywhere. There's too much traffic. You must as well just get a car that will be very, very economical. Okay. Change your driving style to save fuel. You have to change your driving style. If you are on the road and you get annoyed by other drivers, and I've seen some people, they're driving on and somebody annoys him and he on his car. So you're damaging your car because you're annoyed by someone. You're not damaging that guy's car. You're damaging your car. That's not how it works. You have to change your driving style. You have to, I call it, grow up. Somebody cuts you, calm down, let them go. You don't even know them anyway, for God's sake. Why are you shouting at them? You know, try to keep the car between 1,000 and 2,000 rhymes per minute. I never go over 2,000 rhymes per minute. Even if I'm in a rush, I make sure that the car runs lower than 2,000 rhymes per minute. Anyway, my car, immediately I get close to 2,000, it tells me change the gear. Because the way they do with these cars in the computer, there is high peak, and that high peak of power, there is a point where it starts to use too much fuel. This is why it tells you now change the gear so that you go back to using less fuel. So that's how I do. I run less than 2,000 RPM. And if you cannot do that, it's going to be tough to save fuel. Okay, you have to try to control yourself when you are driving. Okay, number 3, when you start the journey in the morning, the engine is cold. Okay, the engine is cold, so just be gentle, because when the engine is cold, it's not efficient. It uses more fuel, and if you are gentle with it, you kind of reduce, using more fuel until it gets up to temperature. Then it will start using less fuel. So in the morning when it's cold, take it gentle. Okay. Now after that, you have to look in your car. Do you the amount of stuff you are carrying in your car? Some people have stuff sitting in the boot. You wonder, why can't you just put the stuff in the house? Buckets full of books, stuff for the children. You don't have to have those things just sitting in the car like it's a storage. The less weight you have, the less fuel you use. Spare wheel is another area. I do carry a spare wheel in the car because, being a taxi, just imagine I go to the airport and I have a puncture and I cannot repair that puncture. Then I need the spare wheel right there. This is a business car. I carry a spare wheel, a full-size spare wheel, and a can of these cans that you spray. I'll put the picture somewhere so that you see what I'm talking about. You put it in if you have a puncture, and you'll patch that puncture, and you can drive. So weight, reduce the weight, and reduce the weight also means you have to cut down on calories, because if you are a family who like unhealthy foods, and I don't want to say this in a kind of negative way, I'm just saying in general, so please be kind. I'm trying to make a point here. If you are overweight, how are you going to save fuel when the requirement to save fuel is to reduce the weight? Do you see what I'm saying? So maybe that's an area where you can help you to reduce the weight. So you reduce the stuff you're carrying in your car, you reduce your own weight too. I weigh around 80, between 80 and 85. It fluctuates. When I see that my belly is becoming big, I start to reduce. That's just how it is. Okay, so that's how it goes. The other area to save fuel in your car, to get the best fuel economy, is service. You have to service your car. Some cars, they will tell you in the dashboard that it's time for service. When that time comes, service the car. New oil, filters, tires, put good tires in your car. If your car is a family car, just get Michelin, it's called Primacy tires. They have very low rolling resistance, and they will last you for years because you're not using the car for business. They are very easy to roll, so it cuts you, the cost on fuel. Now, if it's a car for business like mine, I need tires that are has low rolling resistance, but the tires that are low rolling resistance, that are made to be low rolling resistance, they're good with fuel economy, but the tread depth is not very deep, because for them actually to be like that is because they reduce the depth of the treads. Now I need more tread because this is a business car, so I'll choose other tires and kind of just to balance things. But if it's a family car, the tires will last you 3 years to 5 years, because your car is not always running around, and they have very, very low rolling resistance. It saves you money, So that's how it is. Service is very, very important. If you don't service, you're wasting your time. It's actually even going to cost you a lot, because the car will get damaged. You see, so that's how it is. I'm just gonna go outside and just show you the tires that I have in my car, so that you understand what I'm talking about. That if it's a business car, you need a lot of tread so that you don't keep on going back and forth to the shops. Let me just go outside. Right, these are the tires that I use for this car. As you can see how deep they are. And I need a lot of tire tread, because I don't want to be running back and forth to changing tires. These, I bought them very cheap. I bought them, one tire was £30, because they are not new tires, they are retread. I think it's written somewhere. They are retread tires, so they've been, recycled. Okay, you see here, it says they retread. Okay. Yeah, so they're retread tires. I don't put wheel caps. If I put wheel caps, that doesn't improve aerodynamics. I've already tested that. The tires like these, the wheels like these with just a sealed rim, for me they work very well. I have alloy wheels, and I don't use them on this car, because when I had alloy wheels, I was using more fuel. You have to learn these things, check these things to save fuel. Also, as you service the car, you lift the car, put it on a jack, raise it up, and check if the brakes are not biting. Okay, if they are biting, you're going to use a lot of fuel, because there's too much drag. The wheel is not free to spin, so you have to service your brakes so that they don't bite. All right. The other thing that you have to do here with the wheels is wheel alignment. Okay, wheel alignment is very, very important. You put new tires, you go to do the wheel alignment, because the good wheel alignment means the car is going straight, and it doesn't have too much drag and the resistance when you're going down the road. Okay, let me just go back in the car. Yes, so those are the things that I do to be able to get the best fuel economy in my car. I get over 800 miles in this car. Okay, so I think this answers the question: how is it that I'm getting the best fuel economy? Okay, now I'm not saying that people on this, I'm not saying that you shouldn't go ahead and buy yourself a nice car or an electric car. I'm not saying anything like that. All I'm saying is this is how I do things, and it may be totally unreasonable, totally not logical, or whatever you want to call it to you in your circumstances, because your pocket and my pocket may not be the same. If you have any question, just comment below. I'm going to get another phone and put a WhatsApp phone number on the description, so that if you need help doing your car, or so that you can easily just call me and we discuss. If you need help, maybe I can help, and it will be absolutely free. Okay, yeah, I believe in cutting costs. Simplicity really works for me. Okay, I got to where I am by just doing that, and you know what, I'm one of the happiest guys without a Ferrari. Okay, guys, talk to you later. Thank you very much for watching. Take care. Bye bye.